Make sure I just didn't screw something up. Hold on one second. Okay, cool. So let me get my, we're getting our Instagram going too. Hi, Instagram. Hi, everybody on Facebook, LinkedIn, my private Facebook page. We are so excited to be having a conversation today in our Women Leaders of Love Own Your Worth Wednesdays. People are starting to trickle in right now. I'm so excited to see everyone here. Just so you know, if you ever want to jump on here and be a part of the call where you could ask questions and you are not part of our mailing community, you can go to terribritt.com/leaders and get my free Worthiness Quotient Breakthrough Bundle, which is an ebook and some guided meditations, and then you'll get the link every week to come join us. So let me get the recording going. Awesome. Hey, everyone. I'm Terri-Britt, and welcome to our Women Leaders of Love Own Your Worth Wednesdays. And this is going to be the holiday version for the next few weeks. And why I say that is because so many different people, different cultures are celebrating. And what's supposed to be a joyful time of year is often a stressful time. If you got my tapping into the divine meditation that you get monthly from my newsletter, and you've listened to it, we talked about letting joy in. And that's what it's all about, right? We want to let joy in. Well, one of the things that I want to start talking about over the next month and as we go into the new year is how to do that, because we want to be joyful, right? That's our greatest desire, is we just want to feel peaceful. We want to feel joyful. We want to feel connected. We want to feel prosperous, having it from a prosperous mindset. And during the holidays, when it's supposed to be joyful, it often is not. And then we find ourselves going into the new year feeling haggard. Well, we don't want to do that. We want to walk through this season truly being in a state of connection, a state of peace, and a state of abundance. So, as I said, if you got my tapping into the divine meditation, if you're part of my mailing community, if you got it this morning, it should have come in your inbox. I hope you'll listen to that meditation, because I had a lot of fun. I was just following the guidance, and it got a little crazy with watching the guidance and how the energy was moving around. So I hope you'll listen to that. Make sure you check your inbox. And if you don't see it in the inbox, look in spam. And then we're going to take this another step further, right? We're going to go into looking at what we can do to maintain a peaceful, joyful state through this holiday season. And we're going to be looking at a lot of different things. I thought I was looking at a particular topic today, and then as I sat down, I checked in and I saw an envelope get hit. I often see an envelope handed to me, and I'll pull out the message, and the message said, breathe, loving yourself. And isn't that the core of everything? I mean, when we want to walk through daily life, forget the holidays, we forget to breathe. We forget to just be present and connected to ourselves, to love ourselves. I mean, if this is the season of joy, if this is the season of love and caring about your family members and the people that you care about, not just your family, but friends and coworkers, you don't want to be that person who is spreading stress, right? You want to spread joy, you want to spread love, but it means you have to start with loving yourself first. And we do that. That's what we do on these Women Leaders of Love Own Your Worth Wednesdays. Our whole mission is to help you love yourself first. But we particularly want to do that during this holiday season. So for me, I'm leaving on a vacation in a couple of hours. My hubby and I are taking off. The house is decorated. We've got a bunch of business stuff done. We're setting everything to the side, and we're going away for the weekend with a bunch of friends to Honduras. We're going for a birthday weekend. So we are giving ourselves permission to be joyful, to love ourselves, to just take a rest, right? To just settle down. And that goes against the grain of the holiday season, right? You're thinking about parties, you're thinking about who you need to shop for, you're thinking about money. So many people are struggling with that. And it takes away the joy of what you really want to have, right? What you want to have, that connection and that peace and that love. So let's talk about today what loving yourself through the holiday season looks like. So I know for me, each day, loving myself is getting connected every morning, sitting down in meditation, getting connected, really giving myself permission to talk to my soul, talk to the little kid inside of me, to talk to God. And with that connection, I feel like I can get through each day. Now, there are days like today, because we've been kind of running fast all morning and into this afternoon, that I didn't get to do that. But you know what I did do? Is in my car when I was out doing some stuff, I gave myself permission to just stop and breathe and allow light to run through me, like we always do with grounding in God's light. I allowed light to run through me as I was moving through my day. I also said some mantras. For me, I have a mantra that I'm working with right now that I was given guidance to do for 40 days, and it is I am love, right? So when you say, I am love, I am being that. I am expressing it. I'm feeling it. And so that I can be that in the world. So those are a couple of little things. Another thing that I do through the holidays is I have to take breaks of okay, I have a party for this. I have to go do this for this group of people. And so I'm a person, and I think you are too, if you're in this group, you probably take on other people's energy, right? So it's really important to have breaks in between. So if I am doing a gathering, then I go home, I clean out everyone's energy. Okay. So when you're out shopping, when you're out in the hustle and bustle, you're taking on people's energy. That is draining. That's going to keep you in a very, very low vibrational state. You're going to feel like everything is hard. So it's really, really important to stop and drain the energy. And I know we've done a lot of these tools, but just think about visualizing all the energy of everyone that you are holding on to, right? That you are drawing their energy and drain it off of you. And you can just see it going down to the center of the earth. Let's just do that for a second, okay? So here's a little tool that you can practice. You've been out, you're running around, you've been at a holiday party, everybody at work is stressed out. It's just not feeling loving, right? You're feeling like, I've lost my joy. So just imagine that you're draining the energy and you say to yourself, I give myself permission to release everyone's energy that I've taken on. And you can even imagine cutting cords, because we connect energetically with cords. So you can see yourself cutting the cords. Okay. See yourself cutting the cords. Pop, 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 pop. I love to do that. Cut cords and see that energy releasing. And you can imagine sending it back to each person that you've taken it on from. And you don't even have to know who that person is. You don't have to know if it's a bunch of people. It could be the people on the street in traffic. Send their energy back with love. You can just visualize sending it back with love. And then you can call your energy back, visualizing a pink bubble above your head and putting a magnet in it, calling your energy back, saying, I call my energy back. Wherever I've left it, with that cashier at the grocery store or at the mall when I was shopping, and this person was difficult and I just felt like they sucked the energy out of me or whatever. So just call your energy back and say, no, I'm not leaving it anywhere. I'm calling my energy back. So I feel whole and I feel connected. And you allow that energy to flood into your body. So do that right now, just calling it back. It's a big pink bubble, pulling all the energy in, and then you can see the bubble releasing and a flood of energy coming through your whole being. So those are some energetic things that you can do to love yourself through the holidays, right? These are things that we practice pretty regularly, but I just wanted to remind you of them so that you can start doing that on a daily basis. And remember, stoplight, party, you can be talking to someone and you can be draining the energy. If you feel like they're an energy vampire, you can be draining the energy so that you are feeling more centered, and then always calling your energy back, right? Whatever we drain, we want to call back energy of our own. We will always want to fill up with light. So for today's meditation, as we always do a meditation, as you guys know, we're just going to dive in and look at what you're craving during this holiday season so that you stay in a loving space. I've shared with you a lot of things that are working for me. But maybe there's something different that you love that maybe you've forgotten about or you disregard. I mean, how many times do we get a message and then we push it to the side? I mean, maybe you're being called to take an afternoon and paint. Okay, that's very healing for so many people. I know one of my kids, she paints a lot. She loves to paint. And when she takes the time to do it, it just centers her and makes her feel so joyful. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's taking time to read a book. We're going to do this meditation because I really want you to get grounded in what you need as you walk through this month of December, because I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe we're in Hanukkah now. And we have, the Christmas holidays coming up. I mean, so many people celebrate right now. And then, of course, coming into the new year. And then, of course, all the other stuff that's going on in the world right now, right? So I want to do this meditation with the intention that you find at least, I'm feeling 5 things is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye right now. I'm seeing 5 things. So we're going to just kind of sit with this, go into the meditation and see things that will work for you. And that if you have a pen and paper, when we're done, write them down and make a commitment to do those things. Okay. Because that is what's going to keep you in a state of, I'm grounded, I'm centered, I'm not projecting too much into the future, I'm not staying in worry, I'm loving myself into a state of connection and feeling abundant and joyful through this holiday season. Okay, so if you're ready, let's do this. So I want to invite you to close your eyes if you feel like closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, holding it, and release very slowly. Let's do that again through your nose, taking a deep breath, holding it, and releasing even slower. As you continue to do that, being very slow, breathing in through your nose, out very slowly through your mouth. With each breath, I want to invite you to feel your muscles relaxing. Feel your shoulders relaxing, the tension in your back, the tension in your belly and your hips, even in your thighs and your knees and your legs. Feel everything. In your hands, we tend to hold on. In your jaw, we tend to hold on. So I want you to imagine, as you're continuing to breathe at your own pace, that you are releasing, you're letting go, you're moving into a state of surrender. You're allowing yourself to be loved. Just feel that energy. This is another tool you can do all the time, especially through this holiday season. Breathing into this. So let's take a moment to get grounded as you're continuing to breathe, visualizing opening up the crown of your head, kind of like an old camera lens, and calling the light of love in, the light of peace, the light of joy. You can say the light of abundance, the light of God, whatever works for you. Bring that light in, allowing it to move through your face, all the way through your neck and your shoulders, down into your chest, in your belly, down into your hips, all the way down in your legs, flooding out of your feet, and making sure that energy is also flooding down your arms and out your hands. So it's as if you're releasing out of your hands and out of your feet, and you're so full of light now that you're flooding into your aura, that energy field around you. And then letting all that energy go down out of the bottom of your aura, down your grounding cord, this beautiful column of light that keeps you centered and connected. Let all the energy go down to the center of the earth. So now that you're centered and you're open and you're receptive, I want you to imagine that there's a staircase in front of you and it's going up. Okay. So we're going to go up with the intention that as we get up there, that you're going to receive some guidance on what would be really good for you to practice during this holiday season. And you may already know it, but let's just see if there's something new. So we're going to go up 10 stairs, imagining that you're at this bottom of the staircase right now. Taking this first step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to stop here for a moment. Again, opening up with the intention that you're going to receive some guidance on things that are really good for you to practice during this holiday season. So now we're going to go to 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And hopefully now you're feeling more and more relaxed. You see yourself standing at a doorway. And when you walk through this door in just a moment, you're going to move into a space that is so full of love and so full of peace and calm and joy. Just think of it as moving into the light of God, that you feel surrounded in it, you feel connected. So when you're ready, I want to invite you to open up that door and to step in. Open up the door and step in. Breathing into this, you're coming into this beautiful room. It is so beautiful and it's so peaceful. Give yourself permission to experience this. Say, I give myself permission. I give myself permission to be here and to receive guidance with clarity. And you're going to see in the center of this room is a chair. So go find yourself sitting there, relaxing. It's a big, comfy chair, whatever feels good for you as a chair that you can just snuggle in and go, oh, I can relax. I'm just going to be and receive. Allow yourself to go there. And now we're going to ask for the first message to come in of what you are being asked to practice during this holiday season. So I want you to imagine that there's this beautiful angel, this beautiful light being who's carrying a piece of paper. And as this angel walks up to you, you can feel the presence of the love. You can feel that there is so much love for you, concern for you, caring for you. Okay, you can feel this. And as this angel, you might see a religious figure if that works for you. You might see Christ, you might see Mother Mary, it's whatever works for you. But call this beautiful, loving being to you and allow this being to hand you this piece of paper. Now, you may not visualize, you may be more of a person who feels it or has a knowingness or hears it. That's okay. I always speak in visuals. But you can just imagine that you're being handed this piece of paper. Sometimes it might look like a picture, and you open it up, and there's going to be a word on it, or a message, or a picture. Again, you might hear it or have a sensation, but the intention here is to see and to receive the guidance of what you're being asked to do to practice during this holiday season. So take a moment and do this with this first guidance. If you find you're getting stuck, I want to encourage you to just breathe, visualize opening up your crown again, allowing the light of love to come in. This is going into a state of surrender so you can receive. When we grasp, it's hard to get answers. It's when we're in a state of receptivity and we're open, breathing, being in a state of surrender, that you get your answers. So what is that first answer of what you're being asked to practice? And if you get a message that feels vague. So, for instance, maybe you've got a message that says forgiveness, practice forgiveness. Forgiveness of what? Or of whom, right? Or so are you supposed to be forgiving yourself? Are you supposed to be forgiving someone else? Is there anger towards another person that's keeping you bogged down during this holiday season? So ask questions, be the detective. Go back to that old high school English class where you had to answer who, what, where, when, how, why, right? But just ask if you don't understand what the message means. So take a moment with that one. If you have a question you want to ask, go ahead and ask this guide. Whoever it is for you, you can ask anything you want to ask. So let's go to the second one. Okay, so we said we're going to shoot for five things, and maybe 4 or 5. Let's just see what comes up next. So imagine that this same guide has like a little, pouch, like a bag that's hanging over its shoulder or something. And there was another picture that's coming up or another message on a piece of paper. Imagine it's being handed to you. And once again, open it up and see what it is. Breathing into this. And if you have anything to ask, go ahead and ask it. And now let's do it again. Let's bring in the third message. What is the third one? Again, seeing your guide handing you a piece of paper or a picture or something. It can be a symbol. It can be maybe a teapot. And you're like, what the teapot? What's that mean? And you say, oh, it's to take time and breathe and drink some tea daily because it's something that you really enjoy. It can be something like a visual like that. So see what this third message is. What are you receiving? So fun to get this kind of information. Okay, let's go to the fourth one. Is there another message in the bag? Another way I like to see it is maybe a manila envelope is handed to me and I pull a piece of paper out of it and it has a picture or a message. Sometimes I see a scroll. Sometimes I see symbols. And sometimes I hear it or a knowingness. What's this fourth message? And now let's do the final one, the fifth one. What is the final message that you're being shown that will help you walk through this holiday season loving yourself? If there's any last question you want to ask your guide, go ahead and ask. Take another moment. Now thank your guide for all of the wonderful information you got. Even if you didn't get 5, if you got a couple of things, if you got one thing, that's all that matters, that you got something. Say thank you to your guide. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now imagine it's the end of the holiday season and you're looking back. I mean, this is December 1, right? When we're doing this. So you're looking back. It's we're coming into the new year and you're looking back over this last month and you are patting yourself on the back. Okay. You are saying, I did it. I loved myself through this holiday season. I loved myself and I listened to the guidance. This is huge when you do this. Okay. Because what you're saying is, I'm enough and I am worthy of receiving guidance and I can trust that the messages that I'm getting are for me. So you're taking a huge stand by getting these messages and then taking action with them through the holiday season. So I want you to imagine at the end of the holiday season, you were celebrating that you did all of this. Okay. You're like, yes, 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 yes. I walked through this with grace. If I had a moment that was bad, I came back to center using one of these tools. I am so proud of myself. I want you to just say that. Imagine that you're feeling, I am so proud of myself. I did a darn good job loving myself. Breathing into this, feeling it all throughout your being. And then when you're ready, you can come back into this space. So I want you to take a moment, if you have pen and paper nearby, or if you're on your computer, or even if you're on your phone, if you want to pull up notes or whatever, and write down those 5 things, whatever you got, even if you didn't get 5, whatever you got, I want you to write those down so that you can then go back and look at them at any time. You might even set yourself an alarm. Now, here's something that's fun. I just got this visual a few minutes ago as we were going through this. You know how sometimes when you draw names for like a gift exchange or whatever, you can put each one of these on a piece of paper and put it in a little bowl. Okay. So you just a little strip of paper. And so here's like number 1, number 2, whatever. And each day, this would be really fun. And I may do this too, is each day go to it after you get grounded, after you're taking a moment to just breathe and get centered, right? Go to that little bowl and say, okay, what is my guidance for the today? What is it that I am needing to feel joyful and to feel loved and to walk me through this holiday season with grace and ease? And pick one out and see what happens. I don't know, that sounds like such a fun thing to do. I think I'm going to do it. I mean, I literally just got the visual as I was guiding you guys through that meditation. And I thought, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. I think I'll do that. So, and you can always add, like if you get another hit, if something happens and you're doing something that just feels so loving and beautiful, you can say, I'm going to add that to that bowl. I'm going to add it so that I make sure that I'm doing this. So what's happening here is, one, you're committing to loving yourself through the holidays, right? You're not getting so bogged down in everything. You're reminding yourself to come back to it. You're getting guidance. You're taking a stand for trust and saying, I'm going to do this. And you're also being playful if you do the little bowl thing, right? If you put it in there, because every day you're like, ooh, what's my adventure for today, right? So when we can get into a state of playfulness, that's where the joy is, right? And when we can be in a state of surrender, because if you're just sitting there going, okay, which one is it? Which one is it today? What am I being guided to do? And you pull it out and then you do it, you're going to be grinning from ear to ear. You're going to be that expression of joy for the holiday season. People are going to be wanting to know, what are you doing? I want part of that. Okay. So this is a commitment to loving yourself through this holiday season. So what happens often is we get so caught up in all the stuff, taking care of everyone else. If you're celebrating, and buying presents or whatever, we get caught up in what do I need to do? And, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this? That we disconnect from who we are and the way we were created. So we lose our joy, we lose our love. That's not fun for anyone. I mean, haven't you ever been to a gathering, a family gathering for the holidays, and there's some old aunt who's just being an old grump because she's not a joyful person. She's the martyr, right? That is not fun to be around. You don't want to be that person. You're a woman leader of love. You want to be the person that is coming in and being joyful and playful and being that expression for others. You want them to be able to say to you, "What are you doing? I want what you have in my life." So now you're being of service just through your example. So by doing these things, that's what you're bringing to the table. You're being the greatest present of all for the holiday season because you're loving yourself and you're staying connected. You are not buying into everything that everyone else is doing and being disconnected and suffering. We don't want to suffer through the holidays. We want to be in a joyful state. So, with that, does anyone have any questions? If you have a question here on Zoom, feel free to raise your hand. Those of you who are on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, you can't ask questions right here because we're in a Zoom call. You can ask your questions on those social media platforms and I will go to them afterwards and answer. If you'd like to be a part of this Zoom call and ask questions, because usually we're doing a lot of deep healing, but today I wanted it to be more focused on really getting into that joyful state. But if you'd like to be on these calls and come in and ask questions and have some laser healing, you can get my free worthiness quotient breakthrough bundle just at terribritt.com/leaders. You get my ebook, Women Leaders of Love, and some guided meditations. And then the following week, whenever you get it, you'll be invited to come into the Zoom call. You'll receive a link on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings in your email, in your inbox, and it'll give you the link to come in on this call. So does anyone that is on here want to ask a question? Somebody wrote a chat. Let me see what it is. Let's see. Oh, Ann says, "Hi, everyone." Hi, Ann. Ann, I'm going to pull you up on here for a second. Will you unmute? I just want to see if you got any cool messages or anything that surprised you, or did you know everything that you got for yourself on your list? So are you unmuted?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell what I have on my list?
Yeah. Did you already know these things, or did anything surprise you?
Yes, it surprised me. Shall I read them?
Yeah, read your list. Yeah, that's awesome.
The first was forgiveness, reconnect, and open myself again for everybody where I had closed myself to.
Wow. I got chills on that one.
Yes, but in the beginning of the week, I cut down a lot of cords because I felt that I was holding to a lot of stuff and people, and I was holding me back and them back, and now I feel openness to do this.
Yay. Yay. So what's the forgiveness? It's interesting that that was one for you. Is it a
Yes.
forgiveness of other people, or do you feel like it's a forgiveness of yourself?
Um, yeah, I suffered more with forgiving myself.
Yeah,
But,
that's usually the case.
yes, it's a great thing for me to practice that.
Yeah. You know what I love about what you said about reconnecting and, being open? That is so key because, the holidays can bring up a lot of old unhappy feelings. And it doesn't mean that the holidays had to be unhappy, but it could have been like, a parent who was stressed during the holidays. We get triggered easily, right?
Yes,
And so we shut down when we're in that fight or flight mode, or we're feeling triggered in our subconscious minds. We go in a contracted state. So you have to literally think about your heart shutting down. So what you're saying is that I am not willing to do that. I'm going to stay aware of when I'm doing it. And then in those moments, I'm going to open up and let my heart be revealed.
it feels exactly like you say. So totally like a cramp. Yeah, I don't like the muscles, and you do
Yes.
like a fetus, and then
Yes.
yes, I do that. I
Yeah.
did that. Yes.
And so what you're actually doing, when we're in that fetal position, we're in fight or flight, we're in the amygdala. And as soon as you say no, and you take back the power of your life and you breathe in and you're saying, I can be who I am, I'm worthy, and you open up and you say, I'm going to love these people around me, I'm going to forgive myself. It's literally, you literally move into the front of your brain, but you're also, your heart is expanding open. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a type of person, and I've watched my mother do this too, that used to, in a group of people, I would find myself shrinking and
Mhm.
just feeling like I was going into my shell. Okay, is a good description. And when I started realizing that it was an old habit that I did. It was a protective thing. It was a survival instinct to, ooh, if I shrink, maybe you won't say anything, because I had this fear that if you said something to me, it might be mean or it might be harsh or it might not feel loving, right? So when I recognized that no matter what anyone could do to me, I was going to love myself. I I would see myself opening up like you're doing, like you're talking about. I would open up, and then it would be this wonderful space, right, to connect with people. And my fears that I always had were never there. It was always like, oh, your heart's open, I want to open my heart too,
Mm,
right?
yes.
So those are beautiful, Anne. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think everyone else can, we learn from each other. That's why I like doing these calls, because
Yes.
I know a lot of people are hesitant to share their stuff because they're like, well, everybody's watching. But boy, we learn so much from each other. So thank you for sharing that. Do
Thank
you have,
you.
do you have any questions or anything you want to ask?
No, um, no, I have a lot of I have a lot of um, help from your meditations, and so I'm working very hard, and I still wish you a good birthday, a very happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I celebrated my 60th right before Thanksgiving. It was fun. I celebrated in style. We had a nice little gathering of close friends and my kids. And oh my gosh, we just had a blast. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. That was really sweet of you to remember. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. So you can mute yourself.
Yes, bye.
Thank you. See you next week. So anyone else? Jane, I see Diana's on here. Kiki's on here. There's some other people on here that it just says iPhone. If you want to share what you learned through this meditation, I would love to hear it so we can give other people ideas about what they can do to love themselves through the holidays. Anybody want to raise their hand? There's a little icon in the bottom. It says reactions, and you open that up and it says raise your hand, or you can just unmute yourself if you're having a hard time finding it. Otherwise, I can just call on people. Every time I call on people, it ends up being the most wonderful conversation. So I think I just tend to do that, and people are just like, wait, is she going to call on me? So I am going to call on Kiki. Kiki, will you unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Pretty good. This was perfect. I got paint was one of the things that I got
Awesome.
to do. Um, remember not to self-sabotage.
Oh yeah. So if you could change to don't self-sabotage and put it in a positive form, what would that look like?
Oh, self-compassion.
Yeah.
Or kindness, just
Yeah.
plain kindness.
Yes.
Just plain. Yeah, I do have a really hard time with self-love. I know I do. So,
So just
um,
think about that. Just think about, how am I going to be, if I want, think of yourself as this. Okay. This is a fun visual. Think of yourself as this big pink present. Okay, or whatever you practice. If you're, if you're, I don't know what your faith is, but if you're Christmas and it's green and red, if it's Hanukkah it's blue, whatever your practice is, and you are this present, and you're walking around, and you're thinking, okay, as I am kind and gentle to myself, I'm
mhm,
literally walking around and spreading that energy to all the people around me.
mm, mm,
Okay, like you're like this walking vibration, and people can feel it. People will feel your energy whether you say anything to them or not, or you might just say hi. I have
Right.
people say that to me sometimes, because we own Jump and Goat Coffee here in the Helen area. And I can go down to Jump and Goat on the weekend and talk to someone, and they're like, oh, I was so glad I got to talk to you just for a second. I always feel so much better. It's because when you're holding a vibration of kindness and compassion, people will feel that from you, Kiki.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So the reason you're not being kind and compassionate to yourself, because you were taught to worry about what everyone else was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But if you quit worrying about what everyone else is thinking and come back to the space of I'm giving them a gift if I'm kind and compassionate to myself,
Mm-hmm.
then it will help you shift that mindset. So what else did you come up with? Anything else?
Well, it went from painting to drawing,
Woo!
coloring,
Yay!
to working on my photography. So it's all creativity.
Awesome.
And I think that really translates into my kind of fun.
Mhm. Absolutely. That's amazing.
Uh-huh. So
That's
like,
wonderful.
so like when you're a little kid and everybody says, let's go on the roller coaster. And I freak out because that is not my idea of fun.
Right.
So then I have to go, well, what is my idea of fun?
Exactly. And your
So-
idea of fun is creativity. That's what I was talking about. My youngest daughter, that's her thing. I mean, she'll get all of her paints out, and she'll take a class on, on the internet of painting. She'll start doing some, I mean, she made me the most beautiful birthday card this year for my birthday. Just sat down and painted. I have to show you guys. Hold on one second. I'll show it to you.
Mm.
So look at, this is what she did. So can you see it?
Mm.
Isn't that
Ooh.
pretty?
Ooh, nice. Watercolor.
Yeah,
Looks like
watercolor.
watercolor.
Put little messages in
Oh.
there.
Beautiful.
I know. I love it. It's like the best gift on the planet, right?
Mhm.
I mean, think about this. So what do you practice any holiday? Which one do you practice?
I actually don't.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't really care for them. I don't know why.
Okay. So no big deal. So, but
Mhm.
you probably recognize the new year coming in, right?
Of course. Yes. Yes.
So what if you had some fun making some New Year's cards or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what she's done. Now, that may not ring true for you, but just something about oh, I'm going to paint and share it with somebody, because it touches someone's heart so much when you do a little something for them.
Yeah. I just, I guess I want to celebrate light, the light and the love. And it doesn't have to be on a holiday. It could be any day, every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yes.
Good for you. Focusing everything on one day feels weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and there is a lot of pressure. I think a lot of people feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, I call Valentine's a Hallmark holiday and things like that, because I feel like, well, I tell my husband I love him every day, and we express our love to each other. So Valentine's doesn't feel necessary to us, right? Right. But for us, the holiday like Christmas is a time for us to come together with our kids. And I love giving them things that make them excited. That's fun. And I love being Santa. I like being Mrs. Santa. I'm usually the one under the tree handing out the presents and stuff, because I just, that's fun to me. But I understand what you're saying. So whatever works for you is fine. But it's still, this time of year is stressful. And because people, whether you're doing anything to shop or getting caught up in it, the people around you in the world are caught up in it. Yeah. And so it's really important, because and I know you, Kiki, I've known you on and off, through the years, coming into this space, that you are sensitive, you take on other people's energy. And and I know most people in this group do that. So it's really important that when everybody's so stressed out and people are racing around, that you do things to love yourself, because there is nothing better than just loving yourself that way. If that's what speaks to you, that's huge. Yeah. So good for you.
Thanks.
So are you going to do it?
I am. I'm going to do it. I also need to do some forgiveness work.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah. Do you see
Good.
anything laser coaching me for?
Let me look at you. Let me look at your energy. So the thing that shows up right now, Kiki, is your throat.
Mhm.
And it feels like, you know, when you talk about creativity, it feels like that there is a little bit of a block around this, because you think about your creativity starts down low, right? It starts down in like your second chakra, and then it
Right.
comes up and gets expressed through
Right.
here. So I was wondering, is this speaking? But I don't get that. It's more of giving yourself permission to create and to share. It almost, I don't know if you share your creativity with others. Yeah, there's that
Sometimes.
sometimes where you feel
Mhm.
safe.
Mhm. Yeah.
And right.
Mhm.
So what I want you to recognize is that when you hold back, you're letting little Kiki, the little 5-year-old inside of you, say, oh, this is scary. And what I want to encourage you to do, is what I'm seeing is that you're ready to move that energy out. You're ready to say, you know what, I am going to share my gifts of creativity because I love people. And if I feel called to do something or share it or just to show them, you know, if you're worried about, if little Kiki gets worried about criticism, then, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Right.
You know, I can say that as a former Miss USA. I mean, if there had been a different set of judges, I would have not won that night, unless that was just my divine fate. And you know, I guess it was, because that was the set of judges that was there. But it's like it's all an opinion, right? So
Right.
this is more about not looking for people to approve of you. You have to think it
Mhm.
from a sense of, I'm sharing my love.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
is it,
Yes.
are you clear on that?
Sharing. Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I express my creativity and share it with others, I'm
Mhm.
sharing love.
Okay.
Not about what are you going to do and tell me if it's okay. That's not where
Right.
you're going. Because
Right.
as a woman leader of love, you're saying, I've been given this love to do this. I've been given this desire, this
Mhm.
passion. And if I feel called to share it, I'm going to honor that guidance.
Mhm.
I'm not looking for someone to love me, but instead for me to share the love.
Right. Oh,
Right?
that's a wonderful way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're sharing
Yeah.
your love.
Yeah. That
Right?
turns it around nicely for me.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
scared of criticism and judgment.
Yeah. You
No,
know,
I do the
uh,
inner critic thing bad. So
no, and
that's,
as a writer, I can totally relate to that.
yeah.
Ooh, you
Yeah.
know, so, well, maybe I need to do this, and maybe I need to do that. You know what? We have to come from a space of, I'm sharing love. It's the same with people that are selling their products. And I know this has been a big one for me in the past. And I really have just had a shift around this just recently, where I had a hard time, you know, always selling. I just wanted to give. Okay. Because it's like, I know this works, but I don't want you to feel burdened because you have to spend your money. That was old programming for me. Right. And I finally got to a place of going, you know what? If I'm selling you a product that I was divinely guided to create, I'm valuing myself by saying I'm selling it. But at the same time, I'm serving you by sharing this gift,
Yeah.
because I'm sharing my love,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
I used to hear people say, oh, selling is serving, and I could not get my head around it.
Mhm.
Okay. It was like, that feels so uncomfortable. But it
Mhm.
really is, when you are feeling so connected and love on the, you know, loved on the inside, and you're feeling that you want to share that love. Doesn't matter if there's a price tag on it. It's a beautiful gift.
Mm. It is.
Right?
It is.
So do that. So think of that.
Yeah.
Sharing is love.
Sharing. Yeah. So
Okay.
that does involve, yeah, I've been feeling that blocked energy. So sharing, it doesn't have to be, does it have to be my voice, or can I
Nope. It can
just
be
my
just
art?
anything. It can just be so giving. So when we give voice to our creativity, so
Mhm.
you think of it as, I mean, if you're dancing, it's going to be your whole body. But if you're using your hands, it comes up and it goes out your hands. If you're speaking, it comes up. If you're singing, it comes up. If you're
Okay.
writing, it comes up. Right.
Okay.
So it's like you're getting this divine guidance down in here in your lower part of your body, and then
Mhm.
it comes up and starts giving expression.
Right.
So this is about, instead of worrying about criticism, thinking
Mhm.
about, I'm sharing the big box of beautiful love that I've got to share with you this present,
Mhm.
and coming from that attitude.
Mhm.
And when I look
No,
at
I
your
just thought,
when I look at your inner child, when I just saw that, she was dancing.
oh.
She was
Yeah.
dancing. She's because she's wanting to express.
Mm,
Okay, there's two sides. There's the wounded child, and then there's the child who is your truth. And this is your child who is saying, I want to express. I want to share with the world. And I'm, and the other part of her is going, but it's scary.
yeah.
And that's when you, the adult, comes in and says, you know what? It's okay to be afraid. I get it.
Mhm.
But I love you, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. That very one-on-one with the inner child. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna,
Keep
I
having
protect
those
you no
conversations.
matter what.
Yeah.
I protect you no matter what.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
protection means, we tend to think that protection is to hide, but real protection is when we're in alignment with our
Mhm.
gifts and we share them. Because if we put ourselves in a high vibration, and in a high vibration, what I call the worthiness quotient, when you're in that state of going, I'm going to share who I am, I'm going to share my gifts. What you're doing is you're now attracting high energy vibrational stuff to you. When you're in that protective space, you're coming from this fear of punishment,
Right.
right? So what you're doing is you're energetically sending out a message, something's
Mhm.
wrong with me and I deserve punishment, so I have to hide.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay? So real
Mhm.
protection is when we move into alignment with the way we were created and we share our gifts.
Mhm.
So that's
Oh
what you
yeah,
want
that's
to, you
perfect.
really want to hold on to.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's
So
lovely.
I want to just bring in some energy right here for you. I want you to open up your crown, and we're going to bring in some forgiveness energy because I'm feeling that energy being called right now.
Mm.
And it's coming in and it's settling in your throat, and it's making its way down your spine, settling into your belly, that creative space, and even into that first chakra and, at the base of your spine, because that's where a lot of times we get stuck because it's
Okay.
survival, it's safety. So that energy is now coming down and clearing out some of that.
Mm.
Breathing into that. And anybody else who's listening, you can receive that energy as well. Letting it move through so that you get full creative expression. Right. Just feeling that energy, Kiki.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Can you feel it?
Mm.
It's been beautiful, isn't it? I'm feeling it too. It's very beautiful.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All righty. Well, guys, I'm going to ask you to mute yourself. Kiki, thank you for playing with me and jumping in here when I asked you to. Jane said, for me, I've seen one message. Doesn't mean it's the strongest message and I don't have to receive any other messages. I would say if you're getting one message, Jane, definitely go with it and trust it and then see what else comes in. Remember how I was saying that if you get a bunch of different messages, or if you've got your messages and then you get some more added to that little bowl, if you wanted to draw like a little, what's my guidance for today to play with this. But yes, if you're getting one message, go with that and others may come. And then if you feel like, okay, maybe you're being guided to just practice this because it's really something you're needing to integrate into your being and really get grounded in, then do that. Again, after you do that, something else may show up. So just trust your instincts, girl. I'm going to say trust your instincts. Just listen to it. That's all you have to do, right? And there's no right or wrong in any of this. There's no good way or bad way. It's just you got a message. I would say heed that message, do whatever it's asking you to do, and then feel that love and see what shows up afterwards. Awesome. Okay, so anybody else want to write in the chat anything? So again, for anyone who would like to be a part of the Zoom call, you can go to terribritt.com/leaders and get my Women Leaders of Love ebook and 3 guided meditations. It's part of my free Worthiness Quotient Breakthrough Bundle. And that way you'll get invited into the Zoom call in our upcoming sessions. We are going to be focusing on the stress and healing that through the holidays. So if you want a place to come and feel nurtured and loved, this is the place to be every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on, I think, LinkedIn. And of course, on our website, if you come, you can always watch the replay, and you can see the replays of these everywhere that you are on in any of those platforms. So let's wrap this up real fast. And then I have got to go pack my little suitcase for the weekend. So can I write the link in the chat? Yeah, so the link for, is www.terribritt.com/leaders. Now you guys are here, you're already getting the link. But if you want to share that with your friends to come and join us, or if you haven't gotten that Women Leaders of Love ebook, then that's a great place that's where you're going to get that. And I would encourage you to get that, because it was a divine download, and it's really why we women are being called to love ourselves. And then the meditations are really powerful too. So let's wrap this up with a little mini meditation, and then I'm going to go pack and get on the road. So I want to invite you right now to just close your eyes and take a breath, saying yes. I'm so excited that I'm loving myself, feeling the energy coming in of all that you've learned today, and the healing, the beautiful healing energy that keeps you connected, that keeps you in a state of joy, that helps you be peaceful and have clarity. Give yourself permission to stay in this space on a daily basis. Say, I give myself permission to receive this kind of love every single day through this holiday and every day. Breathing that in. And when you're ready, you can come back into this space. I will see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I can't wait to see you there. And thank you, ladies, for showing up and for playing for everyone showing up, but especially for those of you who show up on this Zoom call, because it is really fun to connect and talk to you. It makes my work so much more fun that I get to share with you and talk to you. And I appreciate you guys letting me call on you and outing you in front of everyone. I just appreciate you so much. Anyway, have a wonderful week. I'm going to go have fun on my trip, and I'll see you here next week. Bye-bye, everybody.